I call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of August 12th, 2026. May I have a roll call, please?
Amanda here.
Lynn here.
Daryl here.
Melissa here.
She's right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you all turn y'all's mics on, please?
Okay. So, next is the approval of the regular agenda. Everybody ready? Are we all okay with it? And may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the regular meeting agenda presented for Wednesday, August the 12th.
May I have a second?
I second.
Motion by Daryl, second by Amanda, all in favor.
Aye.
And we have approval of the minutes of July 22nd. Anybody? Anything?
No changes.
It's only a 10-minute meeting.
Yeah, no changes.
I don't think we'll ever beat that one though.
No, probably not.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 22nd. Yeah.
May I have a second?
I second.
Motion by Amanda, second by Melissa, all in favor.
Aye.
Anybody have any declaration of conflicts of interest this evening?
Not tonight.
No?
No.
Public comment. There is nobody in the audience, but we'll open it to public comment. Please, if it's anything that is on, no, if it's only something that is not on tonight's meeting. There's nobody in the audience, Madison?
No raised hands online.
Nobody's hands raised. Okay. So we'll close public comment. Special presentations, we have none. And design review and land use public hearings. 0201 Miles and Lane, new single family residence.
Okay. So if you've seen this address before, or if you think you have, you definitely have. The property sold and the new owners developed a new plan for it. So it's just coming back through as if it's a brand new structure. So this is a 3-bedroom, 3,700 square foot single family home measured to the midpoint of the roof at 26 feet, 8.5 inches, well under the 28-foot height limit. Parking is adequate with 4 parking spaces, 2 in the garage, 2 in front of the garage. All setbacks are respected and the proposal is under the allowable lot and impervious coverage limitations. They have more snow storage than is required by the code at 372 square feet, and staff is recommending approval of the plans.
Do you have anything, Taylor?
I do not. Dawn is also on the call for any other questions that might come up, but I don't have anything to add.
Good evening, Don.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. So with that, we can come open to public comment again, but there's nobody here.
No raised hands online.
Nobody's hands online. Does anybody on the commission have anything?
No, I don't.
I don't. I was thinking Daryl may, but anything.
Well, yes, but we've gone over this several times.
Exactly. Just make it on record.
Okay.
But do you do the?
Like to see that the landscaping 4 feet from the structure out be of non-combustible material rather than combustible stuff such as shredded bark.
And just for the record, also, the town of Minturn Wildfire Resiliency Code requires 5 feet of non-combustible space around the structure.
Okay, so 5 feet.
And I know, Don, you've given us some things to think about as far as the type of mulch and whether it's non-combustible or ignition resistant, I think is the term. But please make those changes to the plans. Or
Did you revise the wildfire code?
not since its adoption, no.
So there is not anything in there about non-combustibles within the first 5 feet? That got left out from the state's code?
Well, this is our town of Minturn code.
Right. So the town of Minturn code did not include that paragraph regarding non-combustibles within the first 5 feet of the structure.
We should have non-defensible space zones 1, 2, and 3. 1 is 0 to 5.
Correct.
Allows for ground cover.
Don, I do believe that it requires a non-combustible, but it was the rock in particular. I don't think that they had mentioned, if that was what I was remembering correctly.
I'll go back and look at that, but I think I looked at it and it said the plant material cannot be within the first 5 feet, but the section from the state code regarding non-combustible cobble, I think got missed in your adoption.
We'll take a look at it, but everyone in the county adopted the same thing, so,
Okay, I'll look and we'll make any adjustments.
okay. Sorry for the silence.
Yeah,
Melissa? Oh, you have something else?
no,
Melissa? I have nothing.
I make a motion to approve the plans as amended with the appropriate non-combustible space for 0201 Miles End Lane.
Motion by Amanda. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Daryl. Roll call vote, please.
Amanda, I.
Lynn, aye.
Daryl, I.
Melissa, I.
Okay. Next, we have 0221 Miles in Lane, changes to approved plans. Madison.
Yeah, so this is, sorry, finishing the last agenda. Okay, so 221 Miles in Lane, this is changes to approved plans. They did add an office to the main floor, causing an increase in both building coverage and impervious coverage. So building coverage went from roughly 2,800 square feet to about 3,040 square feet. So from 32.28% to 34.89%. And impervious coverage went from 3,626 square feet to 3,852 square feet, or 41%, or 41.62% to 44.21%. There are also some more minor cosmetic changes to the siding and roof materials that would have otherwise been covered under a minor DRB. But since they all for one, it all came in together. So staff is recommending approval of the plans.
Hi there, how are you? So we'll open it to public comment. Is anybody out there who has anything on 0221 Miles in Lane?
Daryl. Oh, public comment.
Public comment, no? So we'll close, no, how about Zoom?
No response.
Okay, so we'll close public comment. Bring it up to the commission. Amanda?
I'm just gonna make note of the same comment before on combustible space.
Daryl?
I'll go with Amanda.
Just want to make sure it's on record.
Yes,
For all of these.
Melissa's good. I have nothing other than the same thing, especially after that lightning that just went through. So if I could have a motion on 0221 Miles in Lane, changes to approved plans, please.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the plans presented to us with on 0221 Miles in Lane. Accepted.
Motion by Daryl. May I have a second?
Second.
A second by Amanda. May I have a roll call vote, please.
Amanda, I.
Lynn, aye.
Daryl, I.
Melissa.
Thank you. Next, we have 563 Main Street, new single-family residence with accessory dwelling unit, New Madison.
Yes, so this is a new 3-bedroom, roughly 4,300 gross square foot single family residence with a 44 foot square foot accessory dwelling unit measured to the midpoint of the roof at 28 feet. So they have no wiggle room. Parking is more than adequate with 5 parking spots. There are 2 in the garage, 2 in front of the garage, accessed off the rear, and then 1 accessed off Main Street. All setbacks are respected, and the proposal is under the allowable lot and impervious coverage limitations. They have more snow storage than is required by the code at 400 square feet. Jeff Spinell, the town engineer, did provide a comment letter, commenting on a couple of things on their survey. He said it was fine for DRB purposes, but will need to be straightened out by building permit. So staff is recommending approval of the plans. Y'all did receive public comment, that was provided or was sent to us earlier today. And I believe the people who wrote the public comment are in the audience. But the staffs or the applicants' representatives are online. They may or may not have an additional presentation to mine, and are also available for any questions.
Would you like to say anything for the presentation before we start? Ben or Sam? Can you hear us?
Yes, I think, no, I would say present and we're happy to answer questions and clarify anything that anybody needs.
Are you also a representative? Okay, Burke is also.
And Burke is also a representative. Thank you, Burke. Okay, next we'll go to public comment. Is there anybody in the public who has anything?
Yes.
Please state your name and address when you come to the microphone.
Hi, I'm Jan Aiello, and my address, depending upon who you are, is 591 Main or 30 Man Avenue. The county changed it a while back and didn't let us know. So we now go by 591 Main unless it's UPS. I have lived in this house. Well, we built onto it, but I've lived there for 47 years. And it falls under the grandfather clause of the original town survey. It was built in the 40s. And we have heard the term that it is non-conforming because our property line, or our house is on the property line from the secondary town survey. And we have two concerns, but we have several, but one concern seems to have been answered. Rob talked to us about the fence. That's been a concern of ours for years because it's been under such disrepair. And we just want to confirm on the plans that there will be a permanent fence put in at the end of construction. We do realize that there will be a construction fence, and that will need to be butted up to our property so that our dogs can't get loose. But a permanent fence at the end of construction needs to be in the plans. Number one. Number two, we've done the reviewing of all of the setbacks, and if they are at 5 feet, which is what those plans show, with an 18-inch overhang, that brings their roof into the wall of our house with a 3.5-foot clearance. And we are talking snow shedding. So we would like to see something in there for incredibly beefy, maybe commercial grade snow fence on the roof if they're going to make it that close to our house. But the other concern with that being that close is fire and fire mitigation. And if something is 3.5 feet from my house and it starts on fire, my house is gone. And it's been my house for 47 years. I'm very invested in the town of Minturn. Obviously, I've lived here a very long time. I do think people have the right to do whatever they want with their property, but neighbors have to be taken into consideration as well. And the circumstances. It appears that the planning commission, I don't know who made the documents, but it appears that those of us who are grandfathered in were not taken into consideration when the new rules were brought down with the 5-foot setbacks, with an 18-inch allowance for eaves. And that's dangerous, I guess would be my word for it. We do have solar panels. Their roof could be shedding onto our solar panels. That's not going to be my expense. So that needs to be addressed. those are my concerns. And I appreciate the time you all put into this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Next,
My name is Stella Trail. I also reside at 591 Main, 30 Man Avenue. This is my childhood home. I'll just state that. So it's integrity means a lot to me. I at this point have had some clarification from Rob regarding a few things. I have a few statements regarding the property line fence. I know that it's in the plans to some degree. I did see the drawing. What my concern is the fence coming down prior to construction and your plan is to just leave it open. Because if that's the case, we cannot have that. We have 3 animals we have to worry about. They go out on a regular basis that I'm not going to be tying up by a chain. That's just not happening. The proposed construction does impact our interior, already deteriorating fence. So whether that is something that you guys do beforehand, I don't think we can because the construction, I believe you're gonna have to do it after.
excuse me, Nellie, would you please address the
Oh,
commission?
excuse me.
Thank you.
I'm assuming it has to happen after construction. I specifically want this in writing, mainly because of animal safety. A clear plan for replacement of the existing fence following construction, including responsibility, the cost, installation, and ongoing maintenance of the new fence, as well as the temporary plans, like I just mentioned, to protect our pets. That was something that was indicated in the survey that really should be in writing. We had one conversation with Chrissy in the last year where she let us know that the construction was upcoming, and we had mentioned that the fence was a problem. This has also been something we kind of talked to her and her apartment dweller on an annual basis, and it just kind of seems to be not a problem, not my problem. I don't rely on the fence, so it's not my problem. Whereas we rely on the fence, and it is our problem. I want that addressed. With regards to the roof pitch, setbacks, and snow shedding, while you're following Newtown code, you have completely alienated the people who are non-conforming because their home has been in existence since the 1940s. When new zoning codes were put into place, I feel like it is the negligence of the town of Minturn to have not addressed the importance of seeing what the impacts of making such a small setback could do to an existing dwelling. The original home is from the 1940s, the add-on is from the 1980s. None of that was taken into consideration when these zoning codes were put in. So I feel like although they're following code, this was in a circumstance that was never even considered, factored in to be a problem. And here we are. It's a special circumstance. Here we are, a 45-degree angle roof with a 3.5-foot allowance for drop from our house. Not our yard that goes from the boundary line to the house. It's the actual house. 3.5 feet at 45 degrees with 2 tiny little rails to support the snow. We're coming off of a historically bad snow year. We are anticipated to have a particularly unpredictable winter this year, and I would venture a guess it's going to be the opposite end of the spectrum, just based on my history here in 41 years. So, I ought to think that the town of Minturn would take these things into consideration and seriously when new projects, and perhaps maybe a request to put things on hold while that particular zoning code gets examined for non-conforming property lines. Maybe that's the avenue. Okay. Those are my concerns. I'm gonna let my husband come up and he's gonna address his construction concerns. They've been difficult neighbors to get in touch with. They're not here all the time, which makes it particularly difficult to have these conversations. I did request a phone call from Mr. Harrington via a mutual friend prior to this meeting, to which it didn't happen. It's unfortunate. We could have these conversations outside of these things and work things out, but the long-term interlocal is going to stay here, and I'm going to be a thorn in anybody's side who wants to mess with my property. It's that simple.
Thanks, Nellie. Please state your name and address.
My name is Aaron Trail. I live at 30 Man Avenue or 591. My main concern is, as Nella addressed, that the property roof edge will be roughly 3.5 feet from our roof. And I do see, when I came in Monday to look at the plans, that the original snow fence was hand drawn in. And I would like to reference Alfont residents at 994 Main Street. We did solar on their property and they have snow fence everywhere. It's beefy, but I only see on the plans here one set of snow fences. And we'd definitely like to have some more snow fence, because if this sheds off onto our roof, creates an ice dam just like at Volk's residence, that's going to be our problem. And we do have solar on that side of the house where if it sheds off, it will break panels, and those panels, being 4 years old, are going to be very hard to replace. So my main concern is the snow shedding on our house, which is 3.5 feet away from the roof edge. And as I stated, Monday when I came to look at the plans, it was hand drawn in. So I would definitely like to put that on record that we definitely need to have snow fence installed. My other concern is we just did a service upgrade and we were required by the town to bury our lines. Is that something that everybody has to adhere to? Because I did not see that on the plans, which I do not have an electrical plan here, so I can't really tell if it's.
Excuse me just a minute. We will answer your questions, but at the end,
Okay.
just so you know.
Okay. That's one of my concerns, is that the lines are buried as well, because we were required when we did a service upgrade to bury the lines, and that was $10,000 plus just to bury the lines. But my main concern is as Nella stated, the snow shed onto our property, onto our house, because we're 3.5 feet away. And we were grandfathered in because we are right on the property line. And at the time, that's where the surveying lines were. And as I said, I'd like to reference 994 Main Street. They have snow fence everywhere, which is definitely adequate. And I feel it retains the snow good enough to where we won't have these issues. That's pretty much my main concern, is because I don't want our house to have ice dams everywhere like our neighbor behind us, Jeff Boak, has. And he has to deal with it every year. And we already have issues with the old house wanting to leak everywhere when ice dams form. So I do thank you for listening to us all.
Okay, and Scott, can you answer his question about service lines using medicine?
Yes, they will have to bury all electrical lines.
Okay.
They were allowed or required?
Anybody required in this town that does a service upgrade for the future will need to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Been on the books for.
That's good to know.
Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that, because it definitely set our project back 2.5 years. So thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Burke, did you want to address anything?
Could I address what Dave talked about? Is that okay, or is that gonna come from, is that enough?
No, please. Are you going to be the contractor?
At this point, yes.
Yes. It is.
Just so you know that the owner is online, but that can be handled outside of public comment. She's
Okay, thank you.
And they may have comments as well to address, but I'll just go after the lowest hanging fruit. And
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, first question I have is, they, I said, is it Nellie?
Nella.
And Nella
Jan
and Jan.
and Aaron.
Okay, name and address, Burke, please.
Burke Harrington, 532 Taylor.
Thank you. And please address to us.
Yeah, okay, I hear you.
We're a tough crowd,
It's
you know.
The whole room.
Okay, so, there's two issues here that I see, and they're very valid, and we will address them. Well, one of them's valid, I think, but let me just get to that. Number one, I'd like to know, they keep coming up with this term grandfather clause. Is that, I know it's not Santa Claus, but is there a grandfather clause that's in writing? That's the first time I heard it. I know. Yeah,
Okay,
That is in our code, and it's in most.
it's called grandfather clause.
Nope. But that'd be cool if it were. It's much more boring. It's the
Yeah.
nonconformities section of our code, and it
Okay.
and it's as is Jenna?
Jan.
Jan, sorry.
No.
As Jan said, I think it was a good way of describing it. It was a building that was built, at least the original building in 1940, before this town had zoning codes. Zoning codes didn't appear in Colorado until 1972.
Okay.
Okay, so the addition that was built in 1980, it's very possible that this town had zoning in place and setbacks, but I don't know what that is at this point. So, but the whole point of the grandfathering or pre-existing non-conforming is if something was built and it was built legally on a lot before a particular regulation existed, in this case, the 5-foot setback, it's considered pre-existing non-conforming.
Okay.
Right? And it can stay there.
Yeah.
But the whole idea with a pre-existing non-conformity clause or grandfather clause is it's the regulations get drafted around it and the rest of the town conforms. And once that building is either moved, torn down, or whatever, it gets built in accordance with the 5-foot setback. So those encroachments don't continue. That's the whole principle behind it.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Can I say something?
just let's let Bert address questions. And
Yeah, and I'm
up to
pretty much familiar with the rule. I just didn't know that was the term.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's the non-conforming. Okay, so I just want to make sure we have the right verbiage going forward if we're gonna throw it around. I'm very familiar with it because my neighbor, if anyone remembers Rocky, is my neighbor on Taylor Street, and he's on my property, and I did exactly what you don't want someone to do. Is we're pretty close, and we did exercise an 18-inch overhang, but we do have a snow fence in place. I'm sure the drawings that are coming up will show something extensive for a snow fence. So I'm sure that's been noted by the team.
Do you mean for building permit application, the next iteration of, okay.
Correct. So I can get my notes here, sorry. Okay, I guess.
Sorry, Lynn and I were just distracted, Bert. We were trying to just
Oh,
confirm,
okay.
like a phone call wasn't an emergency. So just restate that. So you're saying that when the plans come back through
Yeah,
for actual building permit, there's an expectation that I just want to make sure. Sorry.
yeah, I would assume that. I don't want to speak out of turn. Now, the architects are in this meeting too, but I'm assuming we're all taking notes of what has to happen. The fence issue, well, let me just start with the fence before everyone jumps on top of me. There is a planned new fence to go in when we're done. And that will adhere to Minturn requirements and town codes, as will all of our building and all of our snow requirements. And I do believe, I'm not sure, but when I was on planning, snow retention was kind of a big issue. Is there something in writing about that, or is it just based on being neighborly?
We have one clause within Appendix B,
Okay.
Which is our design guidelines, if you remember, that states that snow cannot be shed onto neighboring property.
Okay.
That's the extent of our regulation on that. Otherwise, snow storage, which is a different thing.
Right.
is 5% of the lot and it must be in a usable manner.
Okay, well, that first part of that statement kind of clears up what we have to do with a requirement from the town, which we plan to adhere to. Fence, go back to the fence. Yeah, the one there probably isn't in good shape. Kick it over, you know, but
They prepare and do not.
here we go. There is a plan for a fence. It will be to town requirements, whatever that is, 4 feet, I think, 6 feet on the sides, off the top of my head. There will be a temp fence up for construction. I will say that I don't know if it's appropriate to put the control of the neighbor's dogs under our jurisdiction or responsibility. That doesn't sound appropriate to me. Again, I may be speaking out of turn, but I'm putting it out there. There will be a temp fence up. We will consult you with where to put that temp fence in a neighborly fashion on that side of the property. I can say that. And as you can see, I got 2 projects on Main Street. I'm probably bothering you every morning, but there are fencing there and we can accommodate, you know, it's gonna go down the line somewhere there. And if we're open to suggestions of place, okay? But I don't think it's appropriate to have us be responsible for controlling any animals. It's really not, it's not in my job description, but you know, okay, so that's that one, the snow shedding. Temp fence, utilities, you've covered that, but yes, we do know that. I don't know if it's an Excel rule, if it's a Minturn rule, but they want to bury everything. Okay, so we already know that. As far as things being in writing, I'm not in agreement with that. I can tell you that we are going to build to the requirements and the code of the town of Minturn with the permit that we are issued. And everything will be done to that permit. That's it. I think that's enough. Me signing on that is the only signature you're gonna get. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, this is stating it at the meeting. Yeah.
Chrissy has her hand raised.
Huh?
Chrissy, the homeowner, has her hand raised.
Do we need anything from them?
She has her hand raised.
Okay. Chrissy? She's not on. She's not.
Yeah,
on.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, please state your name and address.
Hi, my name is Chrissy Oken and my husband Chad Skolart is here as well. We're the homeowners at 563 Main. I just wanted to let you all know that we are here and very invested in this process. We're sorry we can't be there in person, and I'm not sure why we're not showing up on the video screen as well. I think Burke did a really good job of addressing a lot of the concerns, and we just wanted to make sure that we were addressing Jan and Nella's concerns. It's nice to see you too. But yeah, I just wanted to state, you know, I've lived in Minturn since 2012, was very lucky to purchase that property in 2016. Chad and I are expecting our first child in October, and we're really excited to raise her in Minturn. So, you know, I want you all to understand that even though we're not in the room right now, this project is very important to us, and Minturn is our home and our community. Yeah, and for the town council, I think, you know, Burke did a good job of raising this. I do have a lot of concerns about taking on the liability of being responsible for Nella's animals. Like, we are dog owners as well. And, you know, it's part of why we live in Minturn. It's a great place to have dogs. But I'm not sure, and this is a question I have for the council, you know, like why the fence is totally our responsibility. And Jan, yes, we have had conversations about this over the years, and that's kind of one thing that has stuck with me. Yeah, so maybe the council has something to say about that. And Jan, do you have my phone number? You're welcome to call me anytime. If you reached out before this meeting, I missed your call. I'm really sorry. I don't think I saw that, but yeah, that's all. I just wanted to let you all know that we are here. And yeah, that's it. We can answer any questions as well, but Burke did a good job speaking to, I think, some of our concerns in addressing Jan and Nella's as well.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Sam, Ken? Do you have anything?
Well, I would just say if the concern about the snow guards and snow shedding, I mean, we're happy, well, I'm a Southerner, so certainly we're gonna lean on Burke to over-engineer that and make sure, I mean, nobody wants the snow to be shedding on the neighbor's house, so we will do what we need to do to make it safe. And the aesthetic of the house isn't gonna work. We work hard to kind of keep the roof forms simple to prevent a lot of ice damming and valleys and complicated roof lines. And, so we were, I would say from a design perspective, trying to do our best to be good stewards. And we certainly are, respectful of the code, and we'll make sure we meet all the requirements. So yeah, and the fence is, again, it's going to be a new fence. It's going to meet the code. It's on, Chrissy and Chad's property. It's in part of their expense. They're paying to build it. So, again, I think hopefully that addresses the concerns of the neighbors.
Sam, do you have anything?
Yeah, just the existing fence on either side of the property is on Chrissy and Chad's property completely, and as will the new fence. And so I think besides that, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Anybody else on Zoom? Nope. With that, we'll close public comment and we'll come to the commission. Who wants to?
Madam Chair, I
Yeah.
believe Jan wanted to speak one more time.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
I can just say it from here. All I'm gonna say is my title for my property states that it's the grandfather clause and that there was a survey, and that the survey there was a secondary survey. So there was a survey it was sitting on it did meet all of the regulations in the 40s. Then the new stuff came in. So
I would also like to formally
Please
request,
speak.
I would also like to just formally request that if we are going to be replacing the fence, that if they don't care about my animal safety, that they leave the existing fence up and then put the construction fence directly next to it as a compromise, because sure, it doesn't need to be your responsibility, but as a good neighbor, you should actually care about your neighbor's animals, that they are their children. I would have the same care and respect for your incoming child.
we settled down.
So now we will close public comment and come to the commission. Amanda, do you want to start?
Sure. My question is for staff.
Yes.
Hi, staff. There were a lot of comments around snow shedding. And I know that you guys are very thorough in this space, knowing about the Appendix B, which again, thank you for reminding me that that's out there. When you looked at the plans that are in front of us, were there any concerns about the current plans that are in front of us, the application in front of us, based on that Appendix B from your analysis?
Yeah, so they are currently showing a snow fence. I don't believe it was added after the fact, and that it was hand drawn. Just these plans have a very artistic quality to them.
Yes.
We'll say that. So they do have a snow fence, and oftentimes in other cases, we have pointed out to other applicants that potentially they should look at snow clips, things like that. That's something, I'll be honest, that's really figured out from an engineer's perspective at time of building permit.
Okay.
The fact that they're showing anything in the form of a snow fence is actually out of the ordinary for DRB plants. So that they did look at it, that they were thinking about it. I'm just like, okay, check mark. There's little that I can review against showing, okay, if there's a foot of snow on the roof, it's going to do X. Like that's certainly not my expertise. It's not any of my colleagues' expertise. So that they had already looked ahead to provide this fence. I was just like, this meets the criteria.
Okay, thank you for that. That was my only question.
I'm gonna go next since we're just going this way. Madison, can you bring up the page that shows the snow storage Yes. Thank you.
All right, so these two hatched boxes in the back off of Boulder Street,
Right.
and then there's these two hatched boxes in the front.
Where's the second?
Street.
Yeah, so
That
it's
one
hatch-
has hatch, that is another hatch box. Okay.
Hatch box, hatch.
That is-
box.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I know that it meets the requirements.
Mhm.
But I was wondering, and I can address this to the owners just to do, because it does not show that that driveway is going to be heated. So that will have to be shoveled.
Yes, it does say on one of the plans that there's an option for snow melt.
Correct.
Correct.
But the other thing I want the owners to remember is that that 50 feet of sidewalk in front of their home is the responsibility of the homeowner to clear. And that snow good needs to go somewhere.
Yes.
I just wanted to point that out. You have plenty of snow storage, but when I got my plan, I didn't see that box. Now I see it. So you've got plenty of storage. And according to the percentage, it works out too. So that's good. I'm glad the snow clips are going in. I have been told in the past if
Snow
snow
fence.
snow
Fence is going
that
in.
it's best to use metal, not plastic. Is that true?
It's probably, yes.
Okay. So,
But this will all be engineered.
correct.
It could be a combination of, I can speak from here. Snow fence and clips, whatever's gonna be the best.
And I was glad when you mentioned the fence that you said the 6 feet on the sides, because that will make a big difference for them. Because where the houses are closest together, it will be a 6-foot fence. And that's how I have it at my house. And it does make a great big difference to have that there. I just know the example of.
Okay.
So thank you. Daryl?
Couple things. One thing, if I may, about history of the lines moving back and forth. The section pin that Midturn's off of is right in Dow Junction area where the mountain is sliding. So when it slides an inch, everybody in here moves one way a foot or maybe 2 feet. I know when I had a hardware store down on Main Street, half the time J Tree Plant Shop was in my store. Half the time I was in his store. So it does move back and forth. They will adjust it off and on. And that's where we got, the change. That's how the change came about after you had built your place. So it's not uncommon. And there's no way the town intern can handle that. That's nature. So, you're saying that the town should do some sort of covenants or something like that. We'd do it maybe this year. And I can only speak on my part, not the council. And maybe 4 years later, the mountain moves, we're at a problem again. So it's something that we just gotta live with in the mountains. But I am aware, Jan, of exactly what you're talking about. So, in question about the snow fences, is there such thing called the snow bars as well? They're a little bit more beefy. Why I'm asking is I'm currently in the process of redoing my roof, and they're putting snow bars up there, which they tell me handles that snow a lot better.
You have a steel, metal roof or?
We have a metal roof. It's a metal roof going up. Yeah.
Just make sure they don't put them too high.
There's two different levels.
Okay.
One lower, one higher.
But just high off the roof, like.
Oh, off the roof. No,
Slide right under that.
I trust that they're doing it. It's TCC roofing.
Oh, yeah.
So, they're in the business. They know what they're talking about. So
I believe a bar is essentially the same thing as a fence.
Is
So
it?
it can be the bars with a grid of like a mesh
Yeah.
fence. And then the clips are different. Those are intermittent. from-
Yeah.
Yours.
clips are a little bit different. Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, no, that you're going to do it. Great. No problem. That's it.
Melissa?
I live at 821 Main. I have a house that was built in 1936.
Oh, my.
Yeah, except yours is updated. Mine.
Oh, mine sits on the property line.
So I feel,
Same as this.
yeah, she has non-conforming. I have conforming, but I have a neighbor immediately behind me that built a very tall, you know, as high as he could house and put plastic snow clips on the roof that looked like something I would have kept CDs in a small pile on in like 1985. Did they fall off within like 6 months?
Yeah.
Did it destroy my fence? It did. In a big snow year, his snow ends up not only on my property, but sliding like an avalanche into my house. So I feel you.
Yeah.
It is, you know, is there anything, I mean, at this point that we can do as a body, that the town can do as a planning entity to say snow fences, not snow clips, because snow clips is nothing. No, we can talk.
I would.
I look to my experience.
I think if you as a planning commission would like to recommend as a condition of approval that they provide a certain level of snow protection, I think that's entirely within your purview.
But how do we have appendix B that
Yeah.
says no shedding in the property, in the neighbor's property. Isn't that enough?
But it
Yes.
hasn't.
Here's
I am the lived experience.
Yeah, exactly.
This does
Was
not.
that a permitted job?
What?
Was that a permitted job?
Absolutely.
It was.
And again, like we all had little piles of CDs back in the day from the age of the audience. You know, they honest to God were like 6 inch by 6 inches of lucite.
Yes.
Yeah.
I work on the roof quite a bit and I see those snow clips like you're talking about. They're plastic. What
Yeah,
does plastic do in the sun?
yeah, they know.
A couple of
They
years,
dry out.
boom, they're gone and they're worthless.
And they fall off.
And I will reference the Alphan residents, they have 16-inch snow fences on their roof, and we even put snow fences on the solar we installed to keep that neighbor from having everything cascade into their property.
On the other side of your house.
No, this is 936 Main.
994. Okay.
Thank you.
Reed's house.
And he has snow fences everywhere, both sides of his roof. They're very beefy and he has like 3 or 4 rows of them.
They also have a stone dividing property line fence that's at least 6 feet tall. That was something I did submit to the town, as I did send some pictures in of examples of what we feel would be acceptable. I also have examples of current projects of Burke that have the snow sloughing into somebody else's property. The house across from Kirby's being an example. I feel like the not taking into consideration original dwellings as a factor for the new setback rules is a detriment to the original homeowners who've been here forever and established and not going anywhere.
Oh, no, but and I get you. I'm not going anywhere.
I know.
But it is, you understand that you're a non-conforming use.
I get that.
That gives you a little bit of a rock and a hard place.
I know. Yeah.
You know, so that's all I got.
I have a question. Can you explain? You know this answer, but horizontal true exterior siding, channel bevel, and vertical random with cedar boards. What is the fireproofing or resistance on that?
I don't know.
And the reason I asked that is because I recently was watching something where they have come out with a paint now that you can use that is fire resistant.
Yeah.
Well, I do
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I know this is a DRB meeting,
You know, this isn't something I'm telling you to do.
right?
These things are, because the fires in the mountains are coming out more and more every day, and I just thought I'd mention it.
Well, we have to adhere to Eagle County's new rules,
Oh,
which
okay.
Minturn has adopted. And those have to be addressed at building permit stage. And may I also say, and let me know if I should stand up, as far as these,
No, if you like.
the snow requirements are concerned, I agree that, we already have an appendix B about it. That's no reason to like skirt around it and put plastic up. I've never put a plastic clip up in my life. Now, besides my word for it, if Minturn wants to introduce some kind of new appendix on that, I mean, every one of these situations is different compared to, what substrate what you're using for the roof, whether it's asphalt, whether it's metal, what the roof pitch is, and how cut up the roof is. Every one is going to be different. But I think in our case, it will be engineered. And that's where you're going to get back up is the stamp. That's all I have to say. And I don't think any kind of engineered snow requirement, a snow retention roof is going to have a plastic clip on it. Right?
Yeah.
I hope
Except
not.
for my lived example.
Yeah,
My neighbor did the same thing. That's
Yeah.
why I brought it up.
And as far as the houses we're building now, well,
No.
they haven't seen snow yet, and they will be. We will adhere to, proper snow requirements.
Anybody else have anything? Scott, do you have anything to?
No, ma'am.
Madison? Anybody up there? Does the homeowner have anything? Chrissy?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
Thank you. So with that, may I have a motion, please?
I don't have anything to say. I make a motion to approve the plans as provided for 563 Main Street, Minturn, Colorado.
May I have a second?
I defer.
I'll second it.
Motion by Amanda, second by Daryl. Is there any further conversation? Matt or Melissa, do you have anything further?
No, just to clarify that this can be brought up in our next round.
Of code update?
No potential to talk about actual fencing, not clips, or is that?
If you'd like, you can make a condition to essentially adhere to that section of Appendix B, and I'd have to find it after the fact.
It's fine.
Requiring that proper engineering be done for snow retention.
Will proper engineering be required as of the next step, which will be engineered, is what I'm asking.
Oh, a building permit.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Anything that's on the roof will need to be engineered.
So can
If you
I mean,
want,
there's nothing, right? There's nothing. Never mind. Sorry, there's a motion on the table.
discuss? Okay.
you guys
so
go ahead.
We have.
If you need a reference to
Yep,
Appendix
second.
B, I'm ready.
Do we need to redo the motion or just say that that's?
If you'd like to add the motion, you don't have to redo it or add
Add the
If
condition.
you have a second, you can discuss and change the motion or add conditions.
I'm sorry, Scott.
If you have a second, you can discuss the motion or change the motion or add condition. Yeah.
Which we did already, yeah.
Okay.
So we will add Melissa's suggestion to the motion, please. We're adding a condition that needs to be taken care of
For building permit.
for building permit. The permit will not be
Is that a
issued.
condition or is that a recommendation? Since it's already a requirement of our building permit. That's where I'm confused. Like it's already a requirement.
Where the ambiguity exists for me is if Appendix B says fencing or clips.
It says
No.
nothing. It just says that snow cannot go
Shed.
onto your neighbor's property. It gives no direction or requirements that anybody has to adhere to except that it cannot shed onto your neighbor's property. So it will be up to them to provide an adequate solution for that, whether that means clips, fencing, bars, a combination of all three, etc.
You are an approving body as a DRB, so if you want to make a condition of approval, you can do that. Regardless of Appendix B or any other portion of the code, if you are reacting to testimony that's been given and feel strongly about it, you can do that.
I would like to add that we do require that the snow fencing be installed, engineered and installed
Prior to
the construction.
prior to the
Prior
building.
to
Issuing of the
approval,
building
prior
permit.
to approval.
So just to clarify that the building permit application includes detailed engineered snow fencing.
True.
as
Yes,
part of the roof plan, whatever sheet of the plans that is.
correct, yes.
Thank you for that.
Is that all,
Everybody okay with that?
is that all right? Your motion?
Yeah, no, it's already, like, I'm just going through this right now, so it's already part of the roof plan.
Right.
Yeah.
But we can. add
And you
a
can add it as another
condition.
condition, but it's also like required.
Okay, so we've added it as another condition prior to the issuing of the building permit.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so with that, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Amanda, I.
Lynn, aye.
Daryl, I.
Melissa, I.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Good to see you, Burke.
Yes.
Miss you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You.
Yeah.
Chrissy,
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
thank you, Chrissy. Dad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys. I wasn't trying to be difficult, but like, that's what I just think it's already
Yes, but it just makes the applicant,
feel more comfortable.
yes, and that's important too.
Yes, that is important too. I agree with that.
Discussion and direction items, anything? Nothing.
No.
Staff reports, manager report is not in here. Do we not have one?
This time,
Got it, copied it. Did I not?
There's something if you last 2 pages.
Yeah, there's one.
Oh, that
No,
was from Jay.
No.
Oh, yeah, but it was, if that's what the manager's report was in the
Oh, okay,
council packet.
cool,
I just copied over.
okay. Planning commission comments, anybody? Nobody?
I don't.
What's going on with definitions?
Ooh, I finished. And eating them up. We're almost finished. There's a couple handfuls that we still need to find definitions for certain terms that we're adding, but
Yes. You both have the first chunk of those due at the next meeting.
Okay. Anything else you have to say about chapter 16?
Matt is gone. He's leaving for 3 weeks. But when he gets back, we're hoping to. We met with him 2 days ago, yesterday, sorry. And we went back over our to-do list, and there are still a lot of to-dos, but a lot of them are clean up and incorporating last minute or last comments that we got from the planning commission 2 months ago or 3 months ago, whatever section of code that we were talking about. So that's the next step for Matt, in addition to us getting the definition section cleaned up and ready for presentation to you. We're going to try to break those up into chunks, A through whatever. And so you're not going through an entire definition section in one night. All of which to say is that we're trying to get everything wrapped up, cleaned up, get Jeff Spinell or the town attorney to look at the sections that we still need them to look at. So we can get this through adoption before the end of the year.
Okay, so
So-
we're still a little ways off.
Yeah.
Which gives us time to be able to read everything again. That's what I think.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, anybody else have anything to say?
I don't.
No.
No. Future meetings, August 26th. Who's going to be here and who's not?
August 26th.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I am here.
Okay, so all four will be here. How about September 9th?
I'm good.
Me too.
So I may have a conflict September 9th, so I will let you know accordingly.
I have one thing from Madison.
Here's one thing for Madison before we adjourn.
Could you get one of the maintenance guys to oil this chair?
That's another thing.
That's not really in their job description, but I'll see what I
know.
If you kind to throw.
Last longer, right, Dale?
Yes.
Somebody had a little WD 40.
He's ending the meeting with a laugh.
Yes.
Get Rob on that right away.
He's good at everything. Okay, so may I have a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting of August 12th, 2026.
May I have a second?
Second it.
Motion by Amanda, second by Daryl. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.